All right, let's open the file. The case we're examining today, it's one that really challenges our understanding of what an anomaly can be. This is the official briefing on SCP-4999, also known as Someone to Watch Over Us.
We're going to follow the standard procedure here. We'll start with its classification, then cover its very specific behavior, who it appears to, our history with it, and we'll wrap up with the Foundation's current assessment.
So, first things first, let's get the official designation on the record.
Now right away, you're looking at this and probably thinking something's off. And you're right. It's classified as Keter, and, that designation is for anomalies that are a major threat to normalcy. But then you look at the other classes. Disruption is Ecce, which means it basically contains itself. And the risk class? Just notice. So we have a Keter-class entity that's self-containing and poses almost no risk. The reason for that contradiction? Well, that's what makes this one so interesting.
So, what exactly is SCP-4999? It's a humanoid figure, we don't know where it comes from, that appears to people right before they die. But, and this is the critical part, the conditions have to be perfect. The person has to be conscious, dying, and, most importantly, they have to be totally, completely alone.
Now, let's talk about what it does when it shows up, because every single time it follows the exact same script. There's no deviation.
The entity just appears. It sits down with the person, offers them a cigarette. It doesn't matter if they take it or not. Then it makes some kind of simple, comforting gesture, places a hand on their shoulder, holds their hand. And then it just waits in total silence. It stays right there until the person passes away, and the second they do, it's gone.
And this right here is the heart of our containment problem. After the entity vanishes, the only thing left behind, the only physical proof it was ever there, is the cigarette, and that's only if the person took it. It's like a ghost that leaves behind a single, ordinary object.
But here's what's truly remarkable: the way people react to it. No one panics, no one tries to fight it or run. In fact, everything we've seen shows the complete opposite. People acknowledge it, they'll reciprocate the touch, sometimes we even have recordings of them thanking it. It's like they instinctively know why it's there.
And that brings us to maybe the most telling piece of this puzzle: who it chooses. The pattern here is impossible to ignore, and it tells us pretty much everything we need to know.
Just look at this data. These aren't world leaders or celebrities. These are the people on the absolute fringes of society. People who live alone, often with no money, no family, veterans, people with no spouse, no real social standing to speak of. The one thing they all have in common is a life lived in isolation, a life without a legacy or strong connections to others.
To put it plainly, SCP-4999 seeks out the forgotten. It appears to people who lived quiet, unremarkable lives and are now facing the end with no one around. It finds the people who would otherwise die completely and utterly alone.
So that leads to the obvious question: how in the world do you contain something that's everywhere and nowhere all at once?
And here's that paradox I was talking about. We can't contain it. The very act of observing someone prevents SCP-4999 from appearing. It only manifests when someone is alone. So, if we're watching, it can't show up. And obviously, we can't and won't ethically try to set up the conditions for a test. So our work is all after the fact. We find security footage, investigate reports, grab any media, and administer amnestics to anyone who might have seen something.
We officially classified this thing back in 1998. It started popping up as a sort of urban legend, a ghost in the machine, thanks to all the security cameras out there. But when we started digging into our archives, we found something incredible. Stories from all over the world, some thousands of years old, describe a nearly identical figure, a silent, comforting presence for the dying. So what we thought was a modern glitch, it might just be ancient.
Okay, so let's pull back from the raw data for a minute and really consider what this thing means, what its existence implies.
Our job is to secure, contain, and protect. Usually that means protecting humanity from things that are hostile, things that want to destroy us, or things that are just plain incomprehensible. SCP-4999 doesn't fit that mold at all. Every piece of evidence we have points to one conclusion. It's not an anomaly of horror. It's an anomaly of quiet, inexplicable compassion.
For an entity that seems to operate on a global, maybe even timeless scale, its mission is incredibly small. It's focused on just one person, one at a time. It seems to exist for a single purpose, to find that one person who has no one left, and to make sure that in their final moment, They aren't alone. That's it, a simple act of comfort.
And all of this leaves us with one final, profound mystery. If this entity can only be seen by the one person it's visiting, and our only proof comes from security cameras that catch it by accident, how did ancient cultures know about it? How did they write stories about it thousands of years ago? That's the question we still can't answer. Briefing concluded.